Thank you all for tuning in to Primitive Organic Garden. Today we are going to do a quick update on the 2019 tomatoes. Tomatoes are not particularly efficient in terms of the amount of time, energy, effort, and nutrients you put into them versus the amount of calories and nutrients you get out of them. Whether you're growing for market gardening to sell your produce or growing for personal consumption, tomatoes are not particularly efficient. You'd be much better off growing greens. That being said, there is something special about a homegrown tomato. I'll spare y'all the song. I need to put a new string on my guitar. There's a good song called Homegrown Tomatoes. It talks about how there's nothing better in this world than homegrown tomatoes. And that's probably true. It's something that money can't buy. All the tomatoes at the store just taste like cardboard. All the tomatoes at the store have been bred for logistics, long shelf life, durability. This is one of my tomato boxes. So tomatoes are kind of hit or miss here. I'm in coastal South Carolina in a swamp. We have a very long tomato growing season. We're generally frost free from, March to December most years. There's some years where we don't even experience frosts. You can grow a lot of tomatoes here. Unfortunately, they get diseases very quickly because of our hot, humid, wet climate. I like to try to start tomatoes as early as possible. If you get them in really, really, really early, you can have big tomatoes that are flowering by, March, early April, like I got here. This is only a, 4x4 raised bed, maybe about 2 foot depth of compost. I got 4 tomatoes in here, and they're just killing it. This year I decided to plant about 40 tomato plants. I'm doing a lot of them in just 2-gallon plastic nursery pots, 3-gallon nursery pots. I got some of them in 1-gallon clay pots. I got a lot of them in Lowe's 5-gallon buckets. But just look at the blooms on these. This is all beyond organic. No synthetic, fertilizers, none of it. Just cow manure, chicken manure, mushroom compost, rainwater. Hopefully a lot of these blossoms will turn into tomatoes. Last year I think I only did about 20 tomato plants, and honestly I lost a lot of them to disease. A couple of them got taken out by squirrels. This year I think I decided to do about 40 tomato plants. Try to hedge my bets. I got some of them in pots, plastic pots, clay pots, 5-gallon buckets. I got some of them in the ground, straight in the ground. I got a lot of them in fabric smart pots. I got some of them in raised beds. Try to plant multiple different varieties in as many different ways as possible. Hopefully, whatever types of stresses we get, biotic, abiotic, you plant enough different varieties of things and you plant them enough different ways, you will always have food. Saw some tomatoes forming down here last week. I don't know where they are now. Just a big mess. It's a nice looking tomato plant. That one's already got some fruits on it. This one here is killing it. That is a big tomato. It's out competing the corn. Look over here, this is a sweet corn patch. We got some sweet corn, and then this tomato is just kind of coming in and dominating the landscape. I don't know what's wrong with this one. tomatoes in buckets. All kinds of tomatoes. Tomatoes for days. Tomato. Alright, that's a lot of tomatoes. It's about 40 tomato plants. Thank y'all for tuning in.